My name is Riley Robinson, and here with me I have Joshua Petrie, who worked on this project with me. Our project is on sexual assault awareness, and this is for our university service learning project. This is the service part of our project.
What is sexual assault? Sexual assault is the term that refers to any sexual contact or behavior that occurs without consent of the survivor. So, there are a lot of forms of this, but some include, attempted rape, fondling unwanted sexual contact, coercion, like actual rape, or making the survivor perform sexual acts.
Some misconceptions. Victims cause violence that has happened to them. That is very false. It is never the victim's fault if something unfortunately happens to them. Clothes do not play any part in a rape. Most sexual assaults are committed by strangers. This is also not true. Many people that are raped actually know the rapist or the perpetrator. Men cannot be sexually assaulted. This is also very untrue. About 21% of men have been sexually assaulted or raped during their lifetime. And it doesn't matter what gender you are. You could be trans, you can be a female or male. It doesn't matter what age you are, what you're wearing, what your ethnicity is, what your race is. Also, a misconception is sexual assault is often the result of miscommunication or a mistake. It's a crime, never a mistake. Always ask for consent. If you don't hear the word yes, it is a no. Point blank.
How to avoid sexual assault. The fact that we have to talk about ways to try and steer clear of sexual assault is terrible. No one should have to think about ways to protect themselves from getting sexually assaulted, especially at a college campus or their work or just going about in their daily lives. But this is the world we live in, so here are just some ways to try and avoid sexual assault. So stay away from dark and unknown areas. If you're in a new place, don't go somewhere that especially where you're not going to know anyone or know exactly what is there. And if you are traveling a new place, make sure you always have a friend with you, someone to watch out for, and also for you to watch out for them. Protect you and your friends' drinks at parties. Don't let anyone unusual or someone you don't know, look after your drinks or have them around them. Always make sure you're aware of where they are at. And if you feel that someone is trying to pressure you, always make it aware to everyone around you. Don't be afraid of, quote-unquote, making a scene.
Something I do as well to protect myself is to think of a game plan. So I think of scenarios that could potentially happen where I'm at, and I think, how would I react in that situation, or who would I call? What would I do, basically? Signs of sexual assault. If someone has been sexually assaulted or raped, they'll most likely push you away. They'll withdraw from activities such as hanging out with friends or hanging out with family. They'll keep to themselves for the most part. Many victims or survivors of sexual assault will blame themselves, and they can self-harm. Many times they'll think of suicide, or they'll have suicidal tendencies. Low self-esteem is also a very big part. They'll look at themselves differently. Of course, STIs are always an issue. They'll be very anxious, or they'll worry about where they are, or they'll be scared just about being in public. They'll also avoid specific situations or places. So, such as where the rape took place, they will definitely avoid going back there. They'll avoid any place that's going to make them very anxious. Grades or classes, school can be affected by this as well. And of course, increase in drug or alcohol use.
So coercion. Coercion is one of the most common ways that sexual assault would occur, the most common form. Many people would probably say that it wouldn't really be sexual assault, but it definitely is. There's no doubt about that. Coercion is happens is when between two people in a relationship, one trying to coerce the other into performing sexual acts or having sex against their will, and that's not right. It's not normal, and it shouldn't be in a relationship at all.
Here we included some resources. We included the names of these resources and the links as well. The National Sexual Assault Hotline is 1-800-656-4673, so you can call that number if you're ever in a crisis or if you ever need to talk to someone about any past situations. And also, RAIN.org is a huge sexual assault organization, and they have very helpful tips and statistics as well. And these are our sources for this power.